Hi. This is a quick caveat because a lot of people like to comment on my hair all the time. This week I've been using Lucetta. I like this. The smell of this one's just great. It's called Perfect Bonding Number Two. It was on sale for like $7 at Marshalls. Like this is one of my favorite brands. Honestly, I think it's from Brazil. Um. Okay, so I want to talk about Tracee Ellis Ross because I saw something. I think it was Candace Owens who was talking about how women in their 40s who are single and childless, they start to crack and they're having identity crisis. And I guess Darius had liked a photo that was Tracee Ellis Ross topless. She was like, she wasn't, she was topless. She was holding her boobs kind of like this. And then she's all like, he's like, somebody had made the comment. They're like, women in their 40s who are like online naked need to get a life. Like we didn't just see it. Um, I'm here to say this. Like, Tracee Ellis Ross might be the first example that we have of like, well, not only her, like it's Gabrielle Union too, but I feel like Gabrielle at this point is like processed all of her extreme gaslighting trauma. But I think Tracee Ellis Ross is like going through the process of doing this. And we have to remember, like, let's take a like brief history here, and I'll put some links in the description box. So Tracee Ellis Ross is Diana Ross's daughter, right? So she has like a white father, black mother, definitely grew up with so much privilege, but she wanted to make it as a black actress. Well, she's kind of like a biracial actress, right? But when you really think about it, like where in society, where in the world do we have real examples of like, first of all, when she was coming up, we didn't have any examples of like black women who were successful really at all. There was just none. And we were still going through this like period of like making fun of black women online was almost like a hobby. Like it was like the cool thing to do was to like come online and make these like trope videos of black women being caricatures and tropes. Like that was the popular thing. What is, like, so what was she going to act as, a monkey? Like be serious. Like what roles were there? Like you got, I think some of the things that people miss are like the reason that, and I keep saying this, like, dear black woman, whatever your hobby is, especially if your hobby is like just watching television or something, and you're watching some show, if you're watching a show like Power or something, please know that like someone like me, like I've never seen an episode of Power, but I do know one of my ex-boyfriends would watch Power a lot, like, and he was Latino. He's like Puerto Rican, and I thought it was fascinating. He'd always talk about Power, and like that would be his like introduction into black culture. And for me, like I was looking at that, and I just couldn't understand because I'm like, this, like, Power is not a show that represents like all black people, or not even most black people. It is some black people living in poverty. Like that is their particular story. In the same way that what's that one show that Drake always talks about? It's a show in London with the I can't remember, Top Boy, like that show, right? Those are shows about like lower income people who are living in housing projects, and just the story of like all the crazy shit that's gone on in their lives. But that's not like everybody stressed out my story, right? Like you have the internet right now. You have lifestyle bloggers who are literally sitting here describing to their story. I am sitting here telling the story of like quite a lot of black women. Okay, because like, and I'm trying to be a writer, but there's so many stories to tell, and like we really do need like more black storytellers. So I'm encouraging you, watcher, to start to tell it. But here's the thing I want to say about Tracee Ellis Ross. I hear a lot of like conservative women coming for her, but I want to kind of tell a different tale of Tracee Ellis Ross's personal triumph and her real struggle for identity, and this constant struggle for like biracial black women to find space in society. Now, like I feel like, and I've actually heard this from a lot of like lighter skinned black women, because like some people get confused about this. Like people like there's this thing called like yellow bone and red bone. Like obviously we have the Childish Gambino song he wrote called Red Bone. The big idea here is amongst like lighter skinned black women, yellow bone are more of like the beige color people, right? And then there's like I am brown, but people would consider me like red bone. Why? Because like in heat, I literally start to turn red. I have red undertones. Some of it, there's a whole conversation about like being Native American. I'm not gonna go there. Like, I racially classify myself as African because I just know way too much about my own personal history, my own personal values, my own personal worldview. Like, I consider myself a black African woman, specifically from like Ethiopia. Like, if you personally want to classify others who look similar to me in other ways, that's fine. There could be other women online who look similar to me who classify themselves in other ways. This is not my struggle. I'm sorry. Like, I don't identify as them. Like, I am not them. I am me. I'm literally sitting here telling you how I personally identify. Okay. Now, and so a real big part of that though is me telling you how I personally identify. Like, I don't identify with Tracee Ellis Ross until maybe now. Like, there are certain parts of her character and certain parts of her like adult female story that I see and I'm like, oh wow, that is interesting. Like, I feel like I could potentially relate to that part of her story. But in terms of her identity, we don't have anything in common. Like, the type of black woman that Tracee Ellis Ross is, I am not that person. Like, we tread different walks in life. Like, everything about us is different. I probably, from like movie shows to TV shows, hair products, places that we like to go and live, friend groups, like just every single thing about us is very, very different. But to go back, I remember when Tracee Ellis Ross acted in the Kanye West music video, the one like I say, the Gold Digger. So she was an actress. Her along with Nia Long, they were actresses in the Kanye West music video skit in the beginning of that video where she talks about how like she was, or it might have been Workout Plan. One of those videos, I'll find it and link it in the description box. The point here is that like she tells us about how she's been acting for all these years and it was really hard for her to like find roles and like get roles. And I think a really big part of that comes down to identity politics. Like a big part of like living in society is like understanding that like when you do something, when something happens for you, there are probably going to be people who are happy for you and other people who don't necessarily care. Other people who are passive. But like I said, there's like a limited number of spots for like all the things. Like, even if you think that your position is very menial, like maybe you're like, oh, well, I just have like a little easy ass white collar job. It doesn't mean anything. Like, nobody else cares about this. There's probably somebody else who actually wants that job. You don't know who it is because like you're not everybody else. You're only you. But there's probably somebody else who'd be like really happy to have that space. Just so you know. A part of your existence is just like really understanding. Like, some people, the way that some people talk about it is like, God did this. God did this. Now, I don't want to say it like that, but like what you have and the things that you have, like sometimes it is bigger than you. Like, society, especially like American society, like European society, has really created like spots for you to occupy and for you to be rewarded like for showing up every day to your job with like money and like transportation, like water, coffee, smoothies, like ice cream, like all the whatever the thing is that you spend your money and resources on. Like, you can get that though because like like everyone on planet Earth doesn't have the same opportunities that you have. So okay, so to go back though, so Tracee Ellis Ross is like, posting photos of her doing things. She's going to fashion shows, she's shopping, she's at coffee shops. I think that Tracee Ellis Ross should like probably take a step back and like write a book. I think she should really think about like that's the thing sometimes that's really weird about privilege. Like, she has so much privilege and she's had so much privilege, and I will honestly say like a lot of it she's blown. Like, take for instance where Tracee Ellis Ross is right now and where Issa Rae is right now. Issa Rae is killing it. Tracee Ellis Ross started with way more, like leaps and bounds more than Issa Rae. Don't get me wrong, because Issa Rae didn't start with like nothing. But the privilege that Tracee Ellis Ross has over Issa Rae is a lot. So if you're talking about like who took advantage and who didn't and what is raw talent and what is not, those gaps tell a really big story. Like, why doesn't Tracee Ellis Ross have projects that she's been working on her own that she could have just funded? A fucking YouTube channel, a blog, something. Like she has all these Pattern Beauty, which is like this, like it's a hair product for textured hair. I'm sorry, but like I'm not actually supportive of that brand specifically because I feel like it came too late. Like Tracee Ellis Ross has been rocking natural hair for a very long time, and now you want to like ride the wave when it's like popular, and like when like Natural 85, like just a regular ass black girl from YouTube has like finally made it like not even made it cool. She just like literally made it possible for people who are way more African than Tracee Ellis Ross to exist, and still she finally does it when it's like popular. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not here for the Holly weirdos, which I do think she is a Holly weirdo. But at the same time, I think we could watch I don't think what she's doing right now is wrong. I think that she is exploring her own womanhood, her adulthood, her independence, her child-free existence in a meaningful way, and that is real. Like Tracee Ellis Ross is just existing in the world, doing what she wants to. Now, like I don't know why she like maybe there's a reason why she went topless or why she didn't go topless. It really doesn't matter. Like it's her like she I think she her topless photo to me wasn't even like risque. She looked great. And I know for a fact that like Tracee Ellis Ross exercises. So it was probably more an ode to like I have been working very hard for this body. I just want to capture a photo of it. The photo is probably for herself, not for others. And so the way that other people are interpreting her personal art and her personal existence, it just doesn't have anything to do with like them. And they're trying, it's a very strange thing. I feel like Steph Co is actually talking about this in the video. I'm actually excited. I'm going to go get on the treadmill and watch Steph Co's video where she's breaking down what happened with Jonah Hill. I appreciate her perspective a lot. Like maybe like right after Kenya, it's Steph Co, but she posts way less. But I think some of you who are maybe like more new to adulting, to independence, to taking care of yourself, don't understand like first of all like how difficult it can be to like just exist in the world. And then secondly, like the sheer not surprise, but man, maybe it is surprise might actually be a good word here. The real value that black women who are getting on the internet and talking about things, regular things, especially living in American society, how rare that is. We don't have a shit ton of examples of this. This is new. For the first time in maybe forever, black women are telling their own stories. From they're scripting their own videos, they're owning their own image and owning their own narrative, and it's really fucking changing society in ways that like I don't think anyone could have like prepared for. Like black women are starting to exist the way that God intended them to exist and not in a way that black males specifically have tried to like capture the narrative, you know, or like white media has tried to like assassinate the character of black women, right? Right. For the first fucking time, we just have like black female humans. And I think that's what we're watching with Tracee Ellis Ross. I think I'm going to start covering her a little bit more on this channel, like just things that she does, things that I think are interesting about her. Her story is it's fascinating. I don't think we need to wait till she dies to start to tell more of it. You know what I mean?